Real estate investors come to me for the speed and efficiency of my lending program. I can close loans in 7 days, and that's great. But I can get you through the application and approval process and issue you a commitment in as little as 48 hours. And that matters. So the question really becomes, what do I need from my borrowers at the application stage? So at MCAP, I really wanted to develop an application that was more of a process than a pile of paperwork. So I really think of our application as occurring over 4 phases. So the first phase is all about value. It's the most important aspect of a loan request for a hard money lender. I want to make sure that I understand the strategy. I want to understand what the budget or the costs are going to be to complete the strategy. And I want to make sure I also understand the specs or the finishes of the end product on sale. At that point, I'll do a desktop underwrite. I have access to MLS, I have Redfin, Redbell, Assessor's website. I'll use all my resources to build what I feel is a strong comp set to bracket the value of the real estate and ultimately make sure that the LTV fits within my guidelines. At this point, once I'm comfortable, I'll ask the borrower to supply a P&S and a detailed renovation budget. The more detailed, the better. So phase 1 was all about value and LTV. Phase 2 is all about total cost and LTC, or loan to cost. So at this point, I know what the economics are. We have a purchase and sale. We can estimate closing costs. And we have a really good feeling for what the construction budget should be. So I can build up what I call my uses in a sources and uses table. At this point now, I'll use the total cost to size my loan to make sure it doesn't exceed my max loan to cost, which has historically been 85%. Once I know what the loan to cost is and I have an LTV, I can really get a balance and get a feel for where I think the end loan can shake out. At that point, I'll go to the borrower and I'll say, this is my total loan that I can do. This is what we're going to do in terms of the funding at closing, and we're always going to fund 100% of construction costs in a holdback. So now that I have the loan sized, I'm going to focus on the borrower's financial condition and the borrower's experience. Experience is what matters most to me, quite honestly. But we do have 2 simple requirements in terms of understanding our borrower's financial condition. We ask the borrower to fill out a personal financial statement, and we ask the borrower to complete an REO schedule, or a real estate owned schedule. What the REO schedule is really a confirmation of what properties the borrower owns today and what their past experience has been. And then finally, what I like to get is a little bit of a bio for first-time borrowers. I want to make sure that I have a real good understanding of their experience. I don't do business with first-time flippers. I don't want the guy that watched HGTV on a Wednesday who thinks he's going to become the next flipper on a Thursday. I want to make sure they have the experience to execute the strategy. So at this point, the borrower's work is really done. The final phase is really all about me finalizing my write-up. I mean, sure, I might have some final questions that I may need to call you on, but it's all about me submitting a loan write-up for approval to the principals of my company, and usually within 48 hours, they're getting back to me with the approval. At that point, I can issue you a commitment, and then we can move to a closing.